Pain is everywhere in life. You're going to experience it no matter what. For me, I've come to the conclusion that it's all pain. Now, you might be thinking that one day you're going to wake up and magically stop feeling pain. You'll just wait for the magical moment when everything clicks. It'll be a one-time fix. Once that happens, you'll never have to face discomfort again, and you could avoid it forever. As comfort is the goal, right? So keep dodging the hard stuff and everything else will fall into place and be easy. But is that really the truth? You're not going to wake up one day, magically stop avoiding pain. It's a daily battle. But every time you have to choose action over avoidance. You have to rewire your brain. You have to prove to yourself you can handle the discomfort. Real problem is that you're avoiding pain. Usually you have to make a choice. Either experience the pain of avoiding it forever or facing it temporarily. But we all know that the pain you're avoiding is nothing compared to the pain of staying stuck. Don't worry, you'll be here again at this crossroads, deciding whether it's a good thing to do or not. And you'll be here again and again and again and again. So this is how we operate right now. This is our tech. We feel pain, we avoid it, we get a quick relief, a bit of guilt and regret afterwards, and then we feel pain because we didn't do what we have to do. Whose fault is this? I think this is Bob's fault. This guy right here, because he just made it really, really hard for us. Bob right now, he's sad, he's cold, he's scared, he's hungry, angry, lonely, curious, and he's basically in constant pain and discomfort. Right? That's right, Bob. That's right. Avoiding pain isn't an option for Bob. And it's very easy for him. He has it all. He doesn't have to check his emails. He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to go live. And the environment just pretty much shapes how he acts, and he acts based on the environment. Very simple. But we have all this other stuff that we invented, Excel, taxes, all this other stuff, right, that we have to pay attention to. Bob's environment helps him while it's backfiring at us. His wiring, how he thinks, helps him while it's backfiring at us as well. Why is that? So just again, this is our tech. And this is Bob's tech. For Bob, he feels pain, he takes action, and then he moves on because there's nothing else to do. For us, we feel pain and then we avoid it because we have that luxury, because comfort is so easy to be around. Bob could not get it back then, so he had to make it. He had no choice. But for us, we just avoid the pain by doing something else. That's the loop that I caught myself in, always feeling pain. So you might think that comfort is the problem, and you'd be kind of right. You might think how we think is a problem, and you'd also be kind of right. So this is Sigmund Freud, and he wrote about pain and disappointments and just life. It might be a lot to dissect all at once, so I just took what he said when he was much younger, when his mom used to call him Golden Siggy. He would have said, life is tough, so we cope. We distract ourselves with work or fun. We replace what's missing with success or love, and then we numb the pain with drink and drugs. We distract, we replace, and we numb. Or the nice way of saying it is that we entertain ourselves, we multitask, and we medicate. And whenever you're doing one of these, you have to think like, am I actually avoiding pain? Or this is something that's supposed to happen? Because if you're avoiding pain, then that's not the way to do it, right? You're just going to feel that pain again later on. We pretty much have these distractions that we'd use to push us away from what we need to do, or what the pain is telling us to not do, telling us how to change. But we procrastinate, we take a pause, and we're just like, okay, yeah, with enough time, all wounds heal, right? That's obviously not the case, because with enough time, lots of bad things can happen too. And all of this is just a form of self-sabotage. If you see yourself doing, let's say, medicating yourself too much, entertaining yourself too much, switching between tasks too much, or just drinking and all the other stuff that I was saying, then you're just on a road of self-sabotage. There's a minimum and a maximum. You want to be somewhere in between, but you don't want to be on the extremes of either. So at the end of the day, what are you really avoiding? If you feel all these things, you must be avoiding something, right? Because life is so tough. So for me, when I'm making this video, I have fears of failure, fears of judgment, and fears of effort. And these all are painful, right? Fears of failure, it might look bad, right? Get judged by people, so that's painful. And then the work to actually do it, right? To sit down, to put yourself in the chair and just, all right, I'm going to do it. And then come back to it, leave, and then procrastinate, and then come back. And obviously it's a painful experience, but it can't be avoided. Pain is always going to be there. It's a signal from your body. And there's three main sources. There's body decay. You're going to get old. Your body's going to decay. Your atoms are going to separate and you're going to die. And in the process, you're going to feel a lot of pain. Then there's forces of nature, hurricanes, tornadoes, shit weather on your face, getting struck by lightning, whatever. And lastly, there's people. People cause a lot of pain to other people because It's who we interact with. But if you're going to live, you're going to feel pain. If you're going to want to stop living, you're also going to feel pain. It's just inescapable. So no matter what, we are going to feel pain. And this is something just have to accept. But what do we do about it? Do we love the pain? Do we be like David Goggins and go like, yeah, love the pain, love the grind and get through it? I would disagree. You're just going to kill yourself. So that's not the way. Do I avoid pain? No, don't avoid pain. We stop it. We stop avoiding pain. We get some help. So how do you stop avoiding pain? We improve on Bob's tech. Now his tech is to feel pain, take action, move on, and then repeat, right? That's his loop. Our loop is to feel pain, avoid it, get a quick relief, guilt, regret, and feel pain until the pain becomes so much that we actually do something, but then it's too late. I felt a lot of pain for no reason. So what I suggest is we take a pause after we feel pain, because we're going to feel pain no matter what. Instead of avoiding it, we just take a pause. We notice that we're feeling pain. We're like, okay, we're feeling pain. When we think about why are we feeling pain? What are we trying to avoid? Then we take one small action that throws us off the loop, because we could go back to pausing, noticing, and then going back to avoiding pain. We just need to direct from that and just take one small action, because action is the only thing that changes things. After that, obviously with action comes momentum, and with momentum comes growth. So whenever you're feeling pain, you know you're on the edge of growth. Because once you pause, notice, take action, then build momentum with that action, because you'll take more and more action, you'll feel growth. So rewire how you feel pain to being on the edge of growth. This is the loop in essence, right? But it might be a bit complex. If you're lost, it might be too. It's not something you remember. Let's shrink this down. Notice and pause. We'll just make that into one thing, right? We'll make it into acknowledgement. So we just acknowledge the pain. Don't have to pause too much. Then for taking action, we'll take a small action, build momentum, and we'll just put that into one thing to take action. And we'll change growth to just moving on. But pause and notice, like, why do we need that? Why do we need to pause and notice? Isn't that just another form of procrastination? Exactly. Ain't nobody got time for that. We just take it out. You know what? We're going to go from feeling pain to straight away taking action. We feel pain, we take action, and we move on. Now, this sounds very similar to something else, right? This sounds a lot like Bob's tech. I'll tell you how it's completely different. So this is the old tech we had. We had feel pain, we avoid things, quick relief, feel a bit of regret, and then back to pain. And Bob's tech is to feel pain, take action, and then move on. Now, our new tech is to take action, move on, and feel pain. Constantly the same thing. But you might look at these and you're like, oh yeah, these are the same things. You might say there's no difference. But that's where you're 100% wrong. So this is our tech and this is Bob's tech. And you clearly see that it's not the same thing at all. Because our tech has understanding and acceptance of pain. We understand where pain comes from. We understand that we're going to have to live with it no matter what. So yeah, guys, fooled you again. It's not about the destination. It's the journey. Just go back on things, right? You want to change, but you keep slipping back. So this is what you got to do. You got to stop waiting for the perfect moment or to be the perfect version of yourself. It's not going to come. Nothing's going to come to you. You got to go get it. So you got to start small. So that's take small actions, pause, take small actions. Then you got to be consistent. Loop repeats itself, makes it into a habit. Why? Because success takes consistency. No one became fucking successful without consistency. You got to ring people up all the time. Talk to them consistently. For friendships, you got to be there consistently. Every form of success you want, a relationship or whatever, you got to show up consistently. Even let's say if you want to get laid a lot, you got to go to dates consistently, text people consistently. Very few things come from one single action. But also you got to forgive yourself when you slip. So you got to build forgiveness into the system. If you slip, let's say you start avoiding things again, go through that loop. But then when you feel pain again, make sure you change it from just avoidance again to acknowledging it, to seeing what's actually wrong, to see what you're avoiding, and then take one small action just to move the needle in that direction, in the direction that's closer to the person you want to be, in the direction that's less painful in the long term. Head towards the pain, the overall pain that you're trying to avoid. And if you fuck up, forgive yourself, move on, try it again. That's it. It's very, very simple. There's no magic, no secrets, just action. That's it, bro. You got this. Be a good person and subscribe.